ladies and gentlemen, it's time for pretty much an old Chaostopia story time, man. You know, I actually never actually thought I would actually go ahead and tell these stories, but I think this one basically isn't revolving about anything really about someone else or something about this. This one is one of those Chaostopia stories, something that happened to me, and yeah. Once again, I'm also going ahead. I'm still kind of rusty at this. And sheesh, why am I? So yeah, I'm kind of rusty with the zombie. So yeah, that, and I also returned back to. Oh goodness. Anyways, go ahead and really like. Go ahead and really like this. If you at least go ahead and enjoy this. So today's story I'm going to go ahead and really talk about is really. This one actually just really went ahead and just happened last night. And this is something that you probably would never expect me to do or really make a video on. And that, of course, was literally going ahead and actually going ahead and actually starting at QB in a league game. Now, first of all, for those of you guys who basically do know, I basically usually when I play, I'm usually playing wide receiver. And some people have gone ahead and they've underestimated my ability. Matter of fact, everybody has. But I've become better and better over time. The only problem I have really is just pretty much really some route running and getting off the line of scrimmage. But besides that, I've been an excellent wide receiver. I mean, you can ask the likes of Mateo. After my little Hail Mary catch I had for him in a league. You can argue with young Riley that when I actually do get open and I do catch the ball sometimes, I pretty much go ahead and usually try to push the ball upfield as much as I can. But anyways, so today's story really is about really my first quarterback start and how that went. So if you guys do want to go ahead and actually do enjoy these stories, then go ahead and basically leave a like on this whole thing. Anyways, with that go ahead and basically being said, it's still time to really go ahead and tell it. So, at the time of recording this, just went ahead and this was literally the day after the event went down, but still. Anyways, so I went ahead and this really starts off with literally yesterday at the time of recording this. Literally, I went ahead and I got a DM from someone that I knew. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and his name is Ford. So yeah, he went ahead and he DM'd me literally, and he asked, are you free today at 8:00? Now, I didn't really have any plans to really go ahead and really do much. I thought about going ahead and really go ahead and visiting my friend IRL, but I wasn't sure. I was just really stressed. So I was like, so that's basically when I was answered. Okay, depends. What is it that you need? And it turns out, dude really needed to go ahead and he needed players for a game. Because he was really short on players, and mainly wide receivers for a game. And he basically needed my help to go ahead and really get some stuff done. And luckily for me, I do have some wide receiver experience. So I was like, alright, bet. The plan was basically, we were supposed to have basically Avery XD at QB. That was pretty much the whole plan. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and walk into this game, try to pull off a W with some new wide receivers. The only problem with that was that one, I tried basically getting some wide receivers, but I had little luck. So this pretty much goes ahead and that starts off as the first bummer. The second part that went ahead and happened was literally by the time the game actually rolled around, we basically barely had enough players, so we had to really use walk-ons. And the third part is basically what the story's about. Avery said he was going to run late for the game, so we basically needed to find a QB, and literally there were some people with some QB experience. I'm pretty sure there was this one dude that I think he went ahead, he said in VC, I have some QB experience from OCFA, which was actually kind of nice and all, but we didn't really go ahead and we didn't focus on that. Anyways, with basically us going ahead and kneeling down, I went ahead and I actually figured, okay, worst case scenario, if Avery couldn't make, I'll go ahead and I'll pretty much QB for the game. And with that, that's exactly what I did. And with that being said, we literally had to go ahead and we were taking on pretty much a good opponent. As from what I remember, they went ahead and they really showed how good they were. And yeah. So, oh yeah, now that I'm actually going ahead and looking back at the game, it was literally really going ahead and facing on a team. We're facing a team called the Hawks, and we were pretty much the Florida Alligators. So, we were pretty much really, I don't know, I don't think it was basically a creative part. Basically, it was, if you go ahead and call it short, it was literally just the Florida Gators. Which are literally, if you do have an IQ, it's really just an example of that we literally went ahead and we were a college, we went ahead and we were just, so the name fit for the college football team, the Florida Gators. So yeah. We went ahead and basically did that. And that's what basically went ahead and boiled down to. We had to go ahead and we had to go into the game with me at QB. And keep in mind, I had literally no experience QBing in a stadium league. No, none up until this point. You guys have known that until pretty much today. So without further ado, I went ahead and QB'd, and this is what happened. So literally, they got ball to start off the game, and they went ahead and they scored quickly. But for the PAT, we went ahead and we blocked it on using the backstack method. Keep in mind, if you guys aren't aware of backstacking, so there's usually there's a stack method that you used. That's called the front stack. It's legal in the OFL and a bunch of leagues, in almost every single freaking league, and you can basically it's more realistic. So that's basically that. Anyways, the backstack is literally you're playing 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, and you're stacking to block a PAT. It's legal in leagues such as ASFL and this league, and also NFA, but it's completely illegal in the OFL and ACC and all that stuff. And it's physically impossible to do it in AFL unless you have a freaking IQ. So that basically going ahead and now being said, they got ahead and they scored off a rushing touchdown, and then literally for the PAT after, we went ahead and we literally went. We went ahead and we pretty much decided, oh, why not? And we ended up going ahead and we ended up doing a backstack, which was legal in this league, and we ended up blocking the kick, and we pretty much went ahead and we got it no good. And in that backstack, it was me and basically and Cardi over the hills, so Cardi are, and I'll say this straight up, we went ahead and we made a good backstack, and I was able to get the ball. So yeah, my first actual backstack that I probably will be able to do in stadium leagues, but I'll have to figure out how it works in ASFL. So with that going ahead, basically now being said, that's pretty much what was the first drive for them. But literally, for our first drive, we went ahead and we didn't go too crazy at first. But this is where we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna really show, really, that's this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and really show it to it. Oops, there was Discord, but still. So we end up responding. This is basically the highlights video to the game. So I went ahead, it was me at QB. I went ahead and I pretty much on our opening drive, we responded by when I went ahead and I threw a touchdown. And then we went ahead and went on to the next drive. Next drive, they went ahead and they responded easily by going ahead and throwing a pass to McConaughey. And he went ahead and he pretty much went ahead and he got a touchdown over it. I don't know whether it was basically me or the other dude that was supposed to cover him, but everyone was just saying, what the heck was I at? But okay. So literally on 1st and 10 on the next drive, I went ahead and I went for a run. Didn't really get much yardage. So on 2nd and 8, I decided why not and show off my little bit of Michael Vick. And as you can see here, I'm just gonna slow it down. I went ahead and I went for a run. And right away, I went ahead and I pretty much got into my first situation. As you guys can see, if you guys have watched, I used the old master of the old side juke. Went ahead and side juked again and got a nice little run for a gain of 35. So then I went ahead and I dropped back, found a man right there. That was Cardi. He went ahead and he got 16 yards there. And then for me, I went ahead and I mixed out the dude again. And I went ahead and I pretty much went ahead and I threw an incomplete pass. Then, still on our drive, we decided to go ahead and respond. And I went ahead and I threw an absolute beauty of a desperation pass, which was caught for a touchdown. Okay, they got the ball back, and their dude went ahead, he got back on the ball, and then, unfortunately for them, we got ourselves an interception. But by then, we also went ahead and we also got Avery in the game, but Avery would only play a little bit. As you guys can see a little bit here. He went ahead and he basically got sacked by Freddie World once, and then and on 4th and 31 he converted it to Cardi, who made a nice mix for a gain of 37. Then Cardi went ahead and he got a touchdown. So that was literally nice to see. Anyways, their QB basically for some weird reason was really just struggling in that game, and he threw another interception. So when he got the ball back, unfortunately Avery trolled and he threw an interception that gave them the ball right back. But here's also the interesting part. They went ahead and they switched quarterbacks. As Alice, I believe, she went ahead and she threw a pass that should have been grounding. I repeat, should have been grounding. And we were arguing, yeah, it was grounding. And the worst part was she was in her own end zone. She threw it. So naturally, you already know the rule. It should be a safety. We should get the ball back. You already know. So that was pretty much it. But the ref went ahead and decided, no, it redo the play. And they ended up going ahead and made the most out of their second chance. As you can see here. Then McConaughey got another catch for a touchdown, and you already know. At this point, the score was already 21-20 after the little chance. It's showing basically what happened on a few things. Was that one, for our first touchdown, we went ahead and we did score. We ended up going ahead and we missed the PAT because it got blocked by a front stack for some weird reason. That was one. Two, we went ahead and we went to respond, and we ended up converting that, and then we decided to go ahead and on our next one, Avery once again trolled and tried to think he was Fruit King, but that didn't age well. All that just to run. So we ended up getting the ball back, and I made some magic happen by throwing a nice little beauty of a touchdown there. I don't know how many yards was that, but they went ahead and they threw a Hail Mary desperation pass at halftime, only for us to go ahead and get the interception, and they ended up winning 28-21 due to a forfeit at halftime. As they didn't have enough players, they had like 5, so they went ahead and decided, alright, screw it. We had to basically go ahead and quit. So that basically now being said, that was pretty much the whole game. If you went ahead and had to ask me about how I did in that game, I think I went ahead and I did pretty impressive. I think for pretty much someone that really had no QB experience, I think I went ahead and I did pretty good going ahead and kicking a little bit ass. But anyways, with that going ahead and basically now being said, now it's pretty much the entire game. And really, we went ahead and we basically were celebrating. And believe it or not, the highlight of the game, he basically got excited because the next day was that I went ahead and I saw the highlight video originally first, and I was like, alright, bet. So I went ahead and I posted it in the OFL Creators Corner. Also went ahead and I basically showed it off in the chat of champions. Talked a little bit of swag. I'm the next guy up. Basically now at this point, I pretty much am rest assured I'm going ahead and I have went ahead and I've pretty much have entered pretty much the QB level. Do I think I'm really at the OCFA level of talent? No. Keep in mind, I went ahead and I had to go ahead and I had to literally command the entire offense. So I think I would pretty much showed a bit of field general with a bit of the scrambling in me. I mean, if you were being for real though, I only went ahead and I didn't really don't go too crazy yardage wise. I think I had like 50 yards rushing, but like over 150 yards passing. So the problem with me is that I'm gonna have to go ahead to work a lot on really my passing, because there was a lot of passes I went ahead and a lot of reads I went ahead and missed. And literally my QB vision isn't one of the best in the world. Because here's the problem. I have the talent to be a QB, it's just now I actually gotta improve. And it's gonna be more difficult to really improve, because if basically for those of you guys who actually are where what CFA standards now are, they went ahead and they made it so there's no such thing as drop downs anymore. So I can't really go ahead and decide, hey, I actually want to become a QB. Let me go ahead and let me drop down to pretty much OCFA. So now that's not going to exist. There's a high chance of people going ahead and alting though. I just feel it. So yeah, that was really just pretty much the story of me QBing. And yeah, moral of the story, basically from this one, is that if you basically have some experience at QB and basically trying out in literally games and stuff like that, don't be afraid to go ahead and really try something if it's basically something that you've been prepared to do. Like if you basically are prepared to be wide receiver, but you've always played center or tight end. I said just don't be afraid to try it out in an actual scrim or a game. Because who knows? You basically will find that little bit of first. You'll find basically that beginner's luck that I went ahead and I have. I don't expect myself to be basically like the next Peyton Manning at QB. I don't expect myself to really be at that Calvin 5 level. But I do just expect myself to just be a good QB that just goes ahead and really makes the plays and really makes good decisions. Which is supposed to be a quarterback's job. Also, to go ahead and actually lead the offense to victory. So yeah, that's really just it for the story. If you guys do go ahead and you guys did enjoy this, then go ahead and basically really leave a like and a comment down below or something like that. And aside from that, really this has been Chaostopia. And yeah. I guess we'll go ahead and I'll see you guys next time and in my next video. Or something like that. Till then, I'll see you guys next time. Saddle up, saddle out. Peace out. Let's go.